Right now at 10, the storm system that brought us snow and colder temps is now hammering the eastern seaboard. Plus, that same system bringing severe weather and tornadoes to Florida. And when the warmer weather eventually gets here, they'll be bringing something nobody likes.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Chris Warner. Officers in Delaware County arrested a man with outstanding warrants involving stolen property, and federal charges are now pending. Gerald Starr was taken into custody on outstanding warrants from the Cherokee Nation. According to Sheriff James Beck, Starr became a person of interest earlier this month when he allegedly stole a trailer. Now, authorities searched his property at the time, but nothing was found. Following a second search warrant, authorities located an item of interest in Starr's storage unit and alerted federal agencies. Officials say they located Starr in a stolen travel trailer at an RV park in Oklahoma following a third search warrant. That investigation is currently ongoing. The University of Kansas suspended 2 fraternities for hazing earlier this month, but officials say they don't plan to share their investigation with police. Phi Gamma Delta and Phi Delta Theta were both suspended from campus for 5 years because of the incidents university officials found, which included assaults, sleep deprivation, forced workouts, destruction of pledges property, and retaliation for reporting the behavior to university officials. It's still kind of chilly and cloudy outside, but at least the snow stopped. Nick Kelly joins us.
Yeah, and of course, Chris, we leave it to Mother Nature. She always has the ultimate say about how the weather will ultimately go around here. We still have yet to clear off the camera from 7th and Rangeline, but it showed a quieter day overall. But with stubborn fog holding on throughout the entire day, we went from 21 this morning to 27. That was about it, but we are improving things as we go through the rest of the night. But earlier this evening, though, I was keeping an eye on a quick upper-level wave passing across central Missouri. That was trying to bring a few flurries just to the north of Stockton Lake. But in general, what this wave is doing, it is finally getting rid of the fog that we've had to deal with all day long, and that is going to lead to a brighter tomorrow. With mostly clear skies finally on the way in, that will just keep temperatures steady. Most of us dropping back near 25. We're back above freezing tomorrow, Chris. I expect us to be in the mid-40s at the very least as we go into our Monday afternoon. We'll see how the rest of the week's shaping up here in a bit.
Nick, thank you. A strong winter storm system is moving through parts of the southeast today, bringing freezing rain, snow, and ice to some parts of the country that don't normally see such low temperatures. And that's the same system Nick was talking about that we just saw. Hundreds of thousands are without power in Georgia, Florida, and South Carolina, and the bad weather heading to the Northeast, where residents are bracing for its impact. CBS News correspondent Tom Hansen reports from New York.
Downtown Winston-Salem, North Carolina is looking like a winter wonderland, but with snow, ice, and high winds making roads treacherous across much of the southeast, the best advice is to watch the storm from the safety of your home.
Fewer people on the road means fewer car crashes.
Snow fell in Georgia Sunday. Atlanta received its first significant accumulation in about 4 years. Before it arrived, the city's mayor said he wasn't taking any chances.
Public safety, the public interest, and making sure that the business of the city can continue as necessary.
This hardware store in Bethesda, Maryland got a head start stocking up for the winter storm that's walloping the East Coast.
We are prepared. We started preparing days ago for the forecast that was coming down the pike.
Meanwhile, tornadoes caused heavy damage in some parts of southwest Florida. And while the winter storm moves to the north, New York's governor called on everyone to take blankets, food, and other supplies if they must head out.
Overnight's going to be very unpredictable. And with the darkness and ice on the roads and high winds, this could be a very dangerous situation.
The National Weather Service says the bad weather will bring high winds and coastal flooding to outlying areas around New York City and beyond. Tom Hansen, CBS News, New York.
The Weather Service says the center of the deep low pressure system is forecast to move into southeastern Canada on Monday night. And as Tom Hansen alluded to, hundreds of Florida residents have been left homeless and thousands more are without power after an EF2 tornado. National Weather Service confirmed the 118-mile-an-hour tornado struck near Punta Rusa on Sunday morning. Authorities in Lee County say 30 homes were completely destroyed, with another 108 reported damage. 3 residents were reported injured, but none of the injuries were said to be life-threatening. An emergency shelter has been opened for the estimated 150 to 200 people who have been displaced by the storm. Residents of the Point Breeze, Tropicana, and Century 21 mobile home community 10 miles south of Fort Myers sustained the most damage. Roughly 7,000 people in the Fort Myers area were left without power. We take this time now to honor one of our many four-state heroes. Private First Class Marion Peterson served in the Army during World War II with the 40th Infantry, his hometown, Nashville, Missouri. We're proud to recognize Private First Class Marion Peterson, tonight's four-state hero. And remember, if you'd like to learn more about other heroes or nominate one of your own at any time, all you need to do is head over to our website, and that's KOAMNewsNow.com. Coming up, one of the largest tech companies in the U.S. is asking more from its staff. Plus, the FAA setting new landing rules for specific planes related to 5G service. Energy experts say look for higher fuel prices across the country as warmer weather hits. Gas Buddy petroleum analyst Patrick DeHaan says the country is in a lull period now, but high prices will come crashing in by March, April, and May. Oil price information service expert Tom Closa cites a range from the Super Bowl to Memorial Day for more gas price bite. Both say a $4 national average is possible in 2022, and declining production and political instability in Kazakhstan and Libya are factors in higher prices. One of the largest tech companies in the U.S. is asking more from its staff. According to reports on Saturday, Apple is now requiring retail and corporate employees to provide proof of a COVID-19 booster shot. Employees who are not vaccinated or have not submitted proof will be mandated to produce negative COVID tests to enter Apple facilities. This is part of a trend among major companies in the U.S. that are strengthening their COVID policies as variants pop up. Other tech giants such as Facebook and Google have implemented similar policies. The FAA setting new landing rules for specific planes as new 5G cell service goes online near airports. Federal Aviation Administration saying Boeing's 787 planes will have to adopt new procedures for landing in wet or snowy weather due to potential interference from new 5G cellular towers. The FAA says interference could delay thrust reverser deployment for braking, which affects the plane's ability to stop. It's also not yet known if plane altimeters, which measure height above ground, are affected. 5G service begins at some major airports on Wednesday. President Joe Biden is scheduled to meet virtually with Japanese Prime Minister Kishida on Friday. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki says the two leaders will discuss their visions for a free and open Indo-Pacific. They're also expected to talk about working together in the fight against COVID-19. Psaki says this meeting will, quote, highlight the strength of the U.S.-Japan alliance, which is the cornerstone of peace, security, and stability worldwide. There's no end to the nation's pandemic-fueled supply chain issues, and now it's taking an ugly turn along railroad tracks in downtown Los Angeles. CBS's Lilia Luciano reports.
A sea of stolen packages litter train tracks near Union Station in Los Angeles. Thieves adding to the supply chain snarls by breaking into Union Pacific containers, grabbing expensive goods, and tossing the rest.
Everything ranging from washer and dryers, tires, perfume, cologne, TVs.
Railroad officials say about 90 containers a day are hit. And while they work with law enforcement, they're considering diverting some trains away from LA County. Making matters worse for consumers already dealing with a 7% inflation rate, the traffic jams at the nation's busiest ports, keeping some store shelves empty. Product shortages are up 15%.
I was able to get aspirin, and there's only 3 bottles on the shelf.
This as demand for groceries jumped more than 8%, setting sales records in December, with bad weather and Omicron keeping Americans at home with no relief in sight.
The big variable in this is, will consumer spending slow down? Which is, like asking, will the pandemic slow down? If people, start spending more on entertainment and travel and less on goods.
And COVID-caused labor shortages are also squeezing the supply chain. Experts say it could take several weeks before stores are fully restocked. Lilia Luciano, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Later on the KOAM News at 10, it's Sunday. You know what that means. It's time for our weekly look at the box office.
But first, we're going to finally see the sun return tomorrow and Tuesday to get temperatures back on a warming trend. We'll see if that holds through the week when we come back. On the positive side of things, Mother Nature allowed us to finally dry out and enjoy a quiet Sunday overall as we wrap up this weekend. On the other hand, all the overcast skies, the stubborn fog, that kept most of us from really doing any warming up throughout the course of the day. But fortunately, we've been doing nothing but clearing out that stubborn fog throughout the course of the evening. Seeing quieter and certainly clearer skies now from Indigo Sky outside of Seneca, Missouri. That's going to be the case for the entire area as we go throughout the course of the night. But holy cow, the past 36 hours it's just been downright cold. We only made it back into the lower 30s with the clouds and the periods of snow around Joplin Regional the other day. And as far as Joplin's concerned, again, lower 20s this morning, pushing upper 20s. That was the best we can do today. We'll see how other areas fared in a few. But overall, we're going to improve this weather setup as we get this new week underway. 40s and 50s, that's what's lining up for us tomorrow and for Tuesday. So early this week, not starting off on a bad note whatsoever, but a quick wave on Wednesday will not only bring us maybe some scattered rain showers Wednesday morning, but another reinforcing shot of colder air sending us back below normal from Wednesday going into next weekend. In the meantime, though, here's how temperatures stacked up around 440. This was, I think, the warmest overall that we've been, certainly in our western counties where you saw the fog and overcast skies clearing out first. We had 38 in Yates Center, 41 at Fredonia, even mid-40s along the west of Kansas, 99. Certainly warmer as we work closer to Wichita. Everybody else, 20s and 30s. That was the best that we can do. Fortunately, again, the skies are clearing out. And despite that, temperatures are holding steady, mid-20s to about 30 degrees. This is pretty much the ballpark where we're going to sit throughout the course of the night, even with clear skies in place and a light breeze. Earlier, it was out of the northwest throughout the day at 5 to 10, occasionally near 15. But with a change in the weather setup, we're going to finally get a southwest wind back in play for tomorrow. We'll touch base on that in a second. First, though, we got finally the back edge of the fog clearing out of our Missouri counties now. Quick upper level waves trying to produce additional light snow around the St. Louis area, but the big snowmaker by far, as advertised, working along the eastern seaboard right now. There's an area of high pressure developing out to the west across the panhandles of Oklahoma and Texas. Couple that with this upper level low clearing out the rest of the fog and this returning jet stream from the southwest. All those pieces of the puzzle coming together, it's going to lead to a brighter and thankfully warmer Monday ahead of us. Looking at the rest of the night, nothing to show here but quiet skies, mostly clear skies, and no surprise, staying cold. Mid to upper 20s across the board, but thankfully we're mostly sunny tomorrow, near 40 by lunchtime for most, lower to mid 40s on the Missouri side and up to 69, and then lower 50s. Can't rule those out, especially in our western counties. But if you're going to be around Joplin during the day tomorrow, we'll start at 25 in the morning, 39 by noon, highs near 45. That's not bad considering how cold it's been for the past few days. Looking at Tuesday, the jet quickly shifts to the north, but despite mostly cloudy skies, we're going to push highs into the mid-50s. We'll certainly take it before this wave comes in on Wednesday with a few showers Wednesday morning, but definitely colder air that will remain in place Wednesday, Thursday, and even as we go into Friday. But we are going to see a bit of a rebound with highs back near 40 on Saturday and Sunday. But in the short term, though, Chris, let's go 45 tomorrow, 55 Tuesday, 44 for midnight highs Wednesday, then dropping into the 20s for the afternoon. 20s went Thursday, 30s on Friday, then we're back near 40 by the weekend.
Not a bad forecast overall for this time of year, so.
Yeah, it's certainly looking good considering we're going to see a lot more sun tomorrow.
I'm looking forward to that sun, Nick. Thank you so much. Turning to sports, we've been talking about this Chiefs game all week. Now it's here.
Absolutely. The Chiefs and the Steelers in the AFC wildcard. We've got the latest. Plus, Pitt State grabs 2 wins this week before setting out on the road. Hear from the team next. This is the Toyota Sunday Night Sports Feed. For the Kansas City Chiefs, the postseason begins tonight. The Chiefs aim to make their 3rd straight Super Bowl appearance, but there's still a lot of football to be played between now and then. In the AFC wildcard round, the Chiefs host the Steelers. Kansas City stomped Pittsburgh in the regular season. And at the time of the taping, Patrick Mahomes has 5 touchdown passes. It's 42-14 in the fourth quarter. And if Kansas City wins, they will advance to play Buffalo at home in the divisional round. In the NFC, Tampa Bay blows by the Eagles today 31-15. And the 49ers end the Cowboys season with a 23-17 win. Pitt State split games against Washburn on Saturday. The men lost a heartbreaker 80-79. The women, though, fared better, beating the Ichabods 69-56. It's the second straight win for the PSU women. Their conference record now 6-4. Jamie Jackson and Sydney Crane combined for 33 points. Jackson had a career-high 17, while Crane added 16 with a few clutch threes. Tristan Gegg had 12 points, all of which, pretty surprisingly, came from inside the arc.
Tristan did a great job second half, finding some layups, finding some rejections, which everybody, they have to pressure up, but she can rip it. She's super quick, and so she found some ways to get on the board beside the three-point line, which is awesome. That's, again, a veteran player, not trying to force the issue, just go get something else, and so really proud of her for that, because I think those were in a couple tight moments too.
The Missouri Southern men lost their second straight on Saturday, while the women picked up a win against Emporia State. Lacey Stokes scored a team-high 16 points with 6 rebounds and 5 assists. Maddie Stokes collected a double-double, 15 points and 12 rebounds. Lane Skiles and Amaya Johns also hit double digits in scoring, plus they had 9 rebounds each. It's the Lions' third win in a row and a good time to be playing well with a tough schedule ahead.
We get to go on the road and play Fort Hays and Nebraska Kearney, 2 of the top 25 teams in the country, may even be in the top 10. But it's going to be a big challenge, but I think our kids will be excited for it. But, we're going to have to continue to play great defense, and we're going to have to continue to take care of the basketball because both them teams are really, really good defensively, and they turn you over, which creates some easy buckets for them. So that'll be a big key for us next week when we go to Hays and Kearney is just executing and playing our style of basketball and make sure we do the positive things that we've been doing.
When we come back, Kansas faces 2-loss West Virginia, plus a big task for Oklahoma State on the road against Baylor. We've got the highlights next. Welcome back to the Toyota Sunday Night Sports Feed. The Kansas Jayhawks have been challenged in their last 2 games. They lost to 25-ranked Texas Tech and then most recently squeaked out a 1-point game against 15-ranked Iowa State. Kansas at home on Saturday hosting a 2-loss West Virginia team. Mountaineers with the lead here in the first. Jalen Bridges slams down the missed shot. Then Ochai Agbaji sidesteps, hits the 3, ties it at 29. Second half, though, Kansas absolutely dominates. David McCormick gets the jam. 19 points, 15 rebounds for McCormick. Double-digit lead for the Jayhawks now. Christian Brown to Agbaji, bucket and foul. Agbaji finishes with 20 points. And later, Wilson on the fast break. He's got a season-high 23 points in the game, and what began as a close game finishes as a blowout, 85-59 Kansas. Another matchup in the Big 12 on Saturday, Oklahoma State at Baylor. Off a steal, Bryce Thompson gets the dunk on the other end, adding to the Cowboys' lead. Another fast break, Avery Anderson makes the nice driving layup, 15-4 Oklahoma State, and Baylor turns it over again. Thompson makes them pay. He finishes with 19 points. Second half now for Baylor. LJ Cryer hits the triple. And then another 3. This time it's from Matthew Mayer. Makes it from the top. Bears within 3. But then 30 seconds left in the ballgame. Thompson steals it away, and that seals it. Oklahoma State gets the road win over the #1 team in the country, 61-54. K-State on the floor against Texas Tech on Saturday. Wildcats down by 7 in the first. Nigel Pack hits the 3 there. K-State trails by 2 at half. After the break, Red Raiders down now. Bryson Williams nails the three, game high 20 points for him. Later, it's Mark Smith driving to the net. He hits the reverse plus the foul. Wildcats back on top by 5. Then the final minutes of the game here, Smith in the corner sinks the triple. Kansas State upsets Texas Tech at home 62-51. We're back right after this.
The latest Spider-Man movie has spent a month atop the box office. Could any film scare it out of this weekend's #1 spot? David Daniels got the early estimates for Friday through Sunday.
$2.3 million kept The King's Man in the top 5. The spy thriller The 355 fell to 4th with $2.34 million. Sing 2 made $8.3 million for a third-place finish.
Hello, Peter.
Spider-Man No Way Home finally lost the top spot, falling to 2nd with $20.8 million as it crossed the $700 million mark in domestic box office.
The killer is a part of something in the past.
The new Scream is the new champ. The latest movie in the horror thriller franchise ended Spidey's reign with a debut 3-day weekend worth $30.6 million. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
I was starting to wonder, I mean, Spider-Man had been king of the box office for a while, and it's interesting to see something, you know, from our past take the #1 spot in 2022.
Yeah, something from our past of new entry in an old franchise.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's how it is these days. Yeah. Got a new entry temperature-wise in the forecast.
Yeah, thankfully we're getting rid of the 30s at least for a short spell. We're back in the mid-40s to near 50 tomorrow, mid-50s Tuesday. We're going to enjoy that quick thaw before we drop back into the 20s on Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the sun, but not the 20s.
We all are.
Guys, thank you so much. That's our time for now. We'll see you back here next time. Thanks for making us part of your night.